Ah, beef Wellington. You know, it's the ultimate showstopper. It's the kind of dish that walks into a room and just commands respect. But let's be honest, for most of us, it also brings a little bit of fear.
And that, my friends, is exactly what we're here to do. We're going to break down the blueprint for a perfect, absolutely flawless beef Wellington. We are turning that fear into pure, delicious confidence. So you ready? Let's dive in.
And this really sums it up, doesn't it? It's the razor's edge we're all walking. On one side, you have the dream, that perfectly pink center, that savory filling, all wrapped up in a flaky golden pastry. And on the other side, well, you have the nightmare, the dreaded soggy bottom where the pastry just steams instead of bakes. That right there, that is our primary enemy.
Okay, so to build a fortress, you have to start with a strong foundation. And in the world of Wellington, that foundation is a perfectly prepared beef tenderloin. This first stage is all about getting that structure and flavor locked in from the get-go.
So, the first thing you have to understand is we're not trying to cook the beef here, not yet. Tying it up first, that just guarantees a uniform, cylindrical shape, which is absolutely key for an even bake later on. The sear is all about creating a deep, flavorful crust. Then you give it a quick coat of sharp Dijon mustard, wrap it up super tight, and chill it. And trust me, this step is non-negotiable. It sets that perfect log shape that the entire dish is built on.
All right, let's talk about that main villain of ours, moisture. Every single drop of extra liquid is a direct threat to our perfectly crisp pastry. So this next phase, it's all about building a seriously tough, multi-layered defense system.
And meet our first line of defense. It's called duck cells. Now at its heart, it's a pretty simple savory paste. We're talking finely chopped mushrooms, shallots, herbs, but its job is way more important than just tasting good.
And this really gets to the heart of it. This is probably the most vital step in making the duxelle. You cook it and you keep cooking it until that pan is completely dry and the mixture goes from a wet, soggy chop into a thick, dense paste. Why? Because you are literally evaporating the enemy's reinforcements before they can even think about getting near our pastry.
So I want you to think of this dry mushroom paste as a protective, flavor-packed shield. As the beef starts to cook, right, it's going to release some juices. It's just what it does. This duxelles layer is waiting there to absorb all of it on contact, stopping it dead in its tracks.
And now for our second line of defense. We wrap that whole duxelles-covered beef in a beautiful layer of thinly sliced prosciutto. This isn't just for that amazing salty flavor. It's a physical barrier. It's basically a delicious, savory raincoat that gives us one final, practically impermeable layer of protection.
Okay, with our core perfectly forged and our anti-soggy shield firmly in place, it's time. Time for the grand finale of our prep work, bringing it all together in that glorious, final pastry wrap.
Now, you've probably noticed a theme here, right? We chill the beef, we cool the duxelle, we chill the wrapped log. I know, it might seem a little tedious, but I promise you, every single one of these chilling steps is absolutely vital to getting the perfect result.
And here's why it's just so important. Chilling keeps everything firm, tight, and easy to handle. But most of all, it makes sure that every single component is cold when it finally meets that all-butter puff pastry. See, a cold filling hitting a cold pastry in a super hot oven, that is the secret. That's what gives you the puff and helps you avoid the dreaded sog.
The assembly itself is this really cool methodical process. And notice how we're actually using the cling film as a tool. It helps you roll everything into a perfectly tight, compact cylinder. A tight roll means no air gaps, which means you get that beautiful, clean slice later. And yep, once it's rolled, you guessed it, we chill it again.
All right, deep breaths. We've done all the hard work, all the prep, all the chilling. We've arrived at the moment of truth, the bake. This is where precision and timing are absolutely everything.
You know, these are the final little touches that separate a good Wellington from a truly great one. We place it seam side down so it stays stable. A gentle scoring on top, it looks pro, but it also helps a little steam escape. That rich egg wash is what gives us that incredible golden brown glossy finish. And of course, one final short chill, just to make sure that pastry is nice and firm before it hits the oven.
Okay, look at this chart as your guide, but your meat thermometer, that's your gospel. I'm serious, do not guess. The only way to know for sure what is happening in the center of that beef is to check its internal temperature. This is the one tool that guarantees perfection every single time.
The timer goes off. You pull this golden, perfect Wellington from the oven. The smell is absolutely incredible. You've done it. But wait, hold on. There is one last, absolutely vital step before you can claim total victory.
10 to 15 minutes. This might just be the hardest part of the entire recipe, just waiting. But I cannot stress enough how essential this final pause is. This is not an optional suggestion, folks.
The source material literally puts it in all caps, and for a very good reason. See, right out of the oven, all the juices in that beef are agitated and having a party right in the center. Resting lets those juices calm down and redistribute through the entire tenderloin. That ensures every single bite is succulent and tender. If you slice into it too early, all that amazing flavor will just flood out onto your cutting board, creating the very soggy bottom you worked so hard to prevent.
So, let's just quickly recap the keys to victory. A perfectly shaped, chilled core, a bone-dry duxelle shield, a prosciutto raincoat, strategic chilling at every single stage, using a thermometer for a precision bake, and of course, a patient rest. These aren't just steps in a recipe, they are your guaranteed keys to victory.
So there you have it. We've broken down the strategy, we've identified the enemy, and we've assembled all the tools for success. The legend has been demystified. The only real question left is, are you ready to conquer the classic?